Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a great show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So today I want to talk a little bit about Kobe Bryant. I spoke about him yesterday on the channel as I was reacting to some comments that Charles Barkley had to make on the Dan Patrick show, where he was essentially saying that Kobe is one of the three greatest players he's ever seen, right? He said there have been three guys that play basketball in extremely, like, at the highest level, and he said it's Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan. So we produced that show essentially to kind of just put the narrative out there or counteract some of the narratives that have been propagated over the years that Kobe wasn't this, Kobe wasn't that. It's something that seems to bother some people. Now, some of you may ask, oh man, you're a Kobe fan, why don't you talk about Kobe? Let me answer this question in this way. We started producing content around 2019. Okay. In 2019, Kobe had already retired by then. Now, we did have some Kobe Bryant related shows, quite a few then, but what happens when a player retires is they're not as relevant. They don't usually make news. If we started covering basketball, let's say in 2008, I would talk about Kobe every single day. Every single day. Because he's playing. So when a player is not playing anymore, they're not relevant. How much news can I talk about with Michael Jordan? Does Michael Jordan play anymore? The reason I don't talk about Kobe is there's no new news. What news is there for me to discuss? So when I get some new comments on him, I'm gonna talk about him because I know these are some LeBron. Oh, but we talk about, because he's playing now. He's relevant. Now it would be one thing if Kobe was playing now and LeBron was playing. I wouldn't waste my time talking about LeBron. I'd be talking about Kobe, but he's not playing, so therefore he's not relevant. That's all. Like, some people felt like, oh, I got you. You didn't get nothing. So I just wanted to kind of get rid of that point. Now, I want to get to a larger point here. If you know anything about Kobe, you knew that he was extremely driven. One could make an argument that he was the hardest working player to ever play in the NBA. You could make an argument like that he was he had the greatest work ethic of any player to ever play the sport. This is something that Michael Jordan hasn't been in awe of, something that Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Carmelo, all of them have been in awe of Kobe Bryant's work ethic, right? So you know he was a dedicated worker, but the question is, what was he working for? And Kobe always made it clear, even from the early stages of his career, his goal was to win championships. That was his primary focus, winning championships. That was what always drove him. I heard that Kobe wanted to get 6. I was also hearing that Kobe wanted to get 7 to win more championships than Michael Jordan. So this morning, I came across a pretty interesting article from basketballnetwork.net. And it had the following title. It says, "Just give me a 6th ring, damn it. Kobe Bryant's reaction when asked about breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record." So let's get into what this article says. This article is actually sourced from an ESPN article. It says, "The late Lakers great Kobe Bryant was determined to prove that he was better than Shaquille O'Neal. After the two parted ways in 2004, Bryant wanted to prove that he could win without Shaq. So after Shaq won his 4th championship in 2006, Kobe topped that with his back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010. 2 years later, on February 6, 2012, the Black Mamba passed Diesel as the 5th all-time leading scorer in NBA history. But at that point, Kobe was no longer eager to one-up his former tag team partner. He was obsessed with a far greater goal. After the game where he scored his 28,601 career point and became the 5th best scorer in the league, Bryant was asked about passing Shaq and his thoughts about passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. Kobe's mind was locked in on something bigger. "I just want number 6, man," Bryant said. "I'm not asking for too much. Just give me a 6th ring, damn it. Chasing MJ. At 33 years old, Bryant was no longer after scoring records or individual accolades. At that point, he only had one MVP award, but he didn't say he wanted more such trophies. He wanted one more Larry O'Brien. A 6th NBA title would have put Kobe at par with Michael Jordan, and although MJ was a perfect 6-0 in the finals, being a 6-2 would have Kobe right up there with his idol in the greatest of all time discussion. But as former teammate Meta Sanford Artest said, Kobe wanted ring number 6 probably a little bit too much, so he tried to force it and it failed. After Kobe got 5, he wanted number 6. You could see it in his eyes. He wanted number 6. So there were games when we were up after the finals in the playoffs up, you know, by 7 points or 10 points with a minute left. Instead of letting it happen naturally to get to the finals, I think Kobe wanted it too much, Meta said in his appearance on the OG's podcast. And then the article then goes on to say that, you know, Kobe was at peace with winning his 5th. So why am I talking about this? The reason I'm talking about this is it's important to shed more light on Kobe's career and his mindset. There was a year, I forgot what year it was, where Kobe Bryant had an opportunity to win the scoring title over Kevin Durant. And I think Kobe ended up sitting out 1 or 2 games and giving up the scoring title. And then Kevin Durant ultimately won the scoring title. Now, why did Kobe do that? Is it because Kobe Bryant didn't like to score? No, it's not. Kobe liked to score the ball. He could score the ball. I think the reason Kobe did that was because it wasn't his focus anymore. I think Kobe thought in his mind that the only way he would be able to assure that him and Jordan were considered to be on the same level is to win more championships. He understood that. Now, why did Kobe have that particular obsession over everything else? The reason Kobe had that obsession was because the person he looked up to the most in Michael Jordan, that was his obsession. And as a matter of fact, we did a show where they asked Michael Jordan about passing Kareem scoring record. And Jordan said, if it was my goal to pass Kareem's scoring record, I would have played more seasons. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to win championships. So I'm saying all this to say that there are other great players that their primary focus was winning and nothing else compared. Nothing else compared, because they know ultimately that will be the ultimate judge of who they are. Because Kobe said he wants to be able to walk into a room and sit down with Magic and Michael and Kareem and all of these guys and belong there. And with 5 championships, he absolutely belonged there. So this is the reason we're producing this show, just to show that other players had different mentalities than what you hear today being propagated in the media. Kobe was about championships. These are my thoughts. Catch you guys on the next show. Peace.